Hey, welcome back everyone. Today we got a really cool video. We're going to be installing the Mountune Intercooler Kit on the Fiesta ST. As you can see, it comes with a few extra items such as hoses, a pipe, clamps, the whole shebang. So this should allow us to actually have some more power, go up to a stage 2 tune. But today we're going to focus on this intercooler here, installing it, and yeah, checking it out. Let's just jump into it. So this intercooler is really nice quality. It's a kind of a cool powder coated black finish on here. It does say Mountune up here at the top. As you can see, there's a little bit of a dent right here. I did buy this used. It was just never installed, so it must have got kind of banged up in the box. But yeah, really nice quality. I'm super excited to have it. I will be putting the white Mountune stencil up on the front. Yeah, it looks really cool and really not much else to say. So here are some of the other items that are included with this complete intercooler kit. So we have some really cool, nice, high quality silicone to replace the existing hoses in there. We have this tiny little J, I think it's a charge pipe, but that will get rid of a pipe that's on the car that has a little resonator on there. And then some nice new clamps as well. So yeah, the kit looks really good, really high quality. I'm super excited to put it in and see what it looks like. But now it's actually time to start taking out this old intercooler. And the first step is actually to take out the headlights. So you have a plastic screw there, one screw there, and one screw up here. This was actually my last video. It was taking and changing these. But yeah, take the headlights out, both of them, and then we can start working on taking the bumper out. There's also these two little guys right here. So right there, right there. And then the next step is to disconnect your little fog lights down here. So try to stick your hand in there and just kind of get it undone. Oh, there we go, just like that. And then we'll do that over here on the other side as well. And then right here we have the nuts and stuff like that holding the bumper to the actual fence. So one thing I forgot to do, which will make this a lot easier, is to actually jack up the car. So that way we can take the wheels off and then we can go in from that hole down there, and then we should be able to actually start getting these out. Alrighty, so car is lifted, took the wheels off. Now we should be able to actually get up into this hole and get them out a lot easier. So I finally got them all out. Was kind of a pain in the butt, just due to the tools that I have. It's an 8mm. If you had an extension and a wobble, you could probably get them out pretty easy. But it's now time to move on to the other side. And then in the wheel well here, we actually have a few fasteners. So one up here, one down here. I think this little plastic one down here as well. So let's get those out. And then if we go under the car, there's a few more of these screws holding in the bumper to this little cooling shroud thing. And then if I can follow directions correctly, this thing should be able to come out well. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. Would you take a look at that? Bumper is finally off. Took a little bit of work, but it's the first time that I had to do it before. Here is the old intercooler. This thing looks honestly disgusting. Super beat up, discolored, and yeah, it doesn't look good. So now we have to try to actually get this out, which should be some clamps right here on either side, and then maybe this little weird cooling duct thing gets kind of moved out of the way. I'm not sure, but we'll figure it out. So we got this little clamp, plenty of ways to get this off. Undid that clamp. You should be able to kind of pull this off now. Just like that. Good old oil in there. Gotta love it. And we'll take this side off as well. And this side is now off. And this is a little 8mm to undo this little guy, which I think we have to undo that. Not sure. I'm just gonna take it off. If you look under here, there's actually 3 of these little bolts down here. So undo those, and then I think this whole cooling pack thing should be able to release, and then we can get some of the hardware holding up the intercooler. Alrighty, so it's now off. And then if we take a look under here, there's actually these little hardware that are holding the intercooler on, and then I think that should be it to be able to get this thing out. It's kind of held on by these little rubber grommets, and it's kind of pushed in there. But yeah, this thing feels like paper, how light it is. Okay, so I got these ones done off this little pipe right here too. This is right next to the turbo. The kit also has a new throttle body silicone and a new Composer port silicone. So I'm gonna get these out real quick. That one looks like a tension clamp, and then that looks like some more simple basic screw clamps. So I actually decided just to take it out because it's pretty easy. I'll show you down below on which to take out. So yeah, to actually get that out, I took it out, and there's a little bolt right there. You just take that out, the sensor, and then that little evap hose. Do that from the bottom. You should be able to get this thing out a little bit easier to change out the coupler up top. So here's the difference between the parts. So here's that pipe. As you can see, this one's got a resonator. This one doesn't really look any bigger or anything, but it is nice to not have that. This one right here, you can just see a lot nicer, and then these are a lot squishier. So with boost and stuff, it should be a little bit better. Not the best example, but this up here seems almost reinforced versus this, which is just super squishy. So yeah, this one's like rock hard. That one's just squishy. So yeah, and they'll look a lot nicer too. So here is the difference between the intercoolers. This one feels like paper, like it's so thin. Plastic end tanks, super beat up. It's got 90,000 miles or so. Mountune one looks to be a little bit thicker, nicer tanks. I think the core actually might be a little bit bigger. Yeah, so it's actually a little bit of a bigger intercooler in just about every way. And then as for spraying on the stencil, so all I did was cleaned it really well with some alcohol and whatnot. Put the stencil on, make sure you line it up so that the logo is up top, and those little things, that's the top of it. You don't want to get it upside down. So I'm gonna do it with white, paint it, and yeah, so it's not probably gonna be perfect, but it'll definitely look pretty decent. So finished with the stencil. Really, it looks worse on camera. In person, it doesn't look that bad. I think once it's on the car, I don't think it would be that bad. I kind of realized what I did wrong. You're only supposed to spray from the top, just like this, not really at angles, I don't think. But yeah, like I said, it really does look worse on camera. It's not that bad though. So it's kind of a mess here, but now everything is out. It's actually time to start putting things back together. So I'm gonna start with the piping so I can let that dry a little bit more. Alrighty, so got that back up in there. Yeah, everything looks pretty good. It's all tightened down. That pipe, and then that pipe right there. So put the intercooler on and tighten it down, and then should be good. I might actually start it up to make sure everything is good, no leaks or anything. like I said earlier, you're gonna make sure that you keep these because these will actually go onto the new intercooler when we're installing them. Alrighty, so we're gonna try to put this thing in here. Alrighty guys, so intercooler is, I think, basically mounted as good as it's gonna get. Everything is tightened down. I was actually able to clean up the stencil a little bit. So yeah, now it doesn't really look terrible. I just used some alcohol and some Q-tips and I was able to clean it up. Paint can's rolling away, but that's all tightened up. Might be able to push that forward a little bit more. But yeah, everything is mounted, lines up really well. So yeah, I think it looks really cool seeing it like that. Yeah, a lot cleaner than that old stock, the intercooler. And then up here we have those two hoses right there and clamps. And then the piping with the new silicone right there. With the new silicone up there as well. And this one also. So here's the bumper. And what a lot of people do is they'll actually remove this little grill right here, which is that right there. It just pops out. But I think I'm gonna paint these black right here. That way I still have the structural support for the bumper, but these won't be standing out, these orange little lines. So this is how I am painting it. A little bit overkill, but I think it's gonna look really nice to have these painted black instead of orange. Alrighty, so painted these things, came out not bad. I actually really like the look, and I think it's gonna look a lot better than them being orange. So it's time to actually start putting this car back together. But the first step to putting it back together is putting in this little air dam. So we'll put this in and then we'll move on to the bumper. And that's the install, guys. So it did take a little bit of time for me, at least, just because I was doing a few extra things to it while I had it all apart. But I think the install was actually pretty easy, and I think if you weren't filming and you maybe had a friend helping you or something like that, you could get it done pretty easily without much issue. And then I still gotta go test drive it, make sure when I go into boost, one of the hoses don't pop off. And then I actually will be installing a blow-off valve really shortly, and then we can actually go to stage 2. So that's all planned out. We'll get to it when we get there. I'm gonna go test drive it and see how it goes. So I just went on a test drive. Everything went good. Went up to max boost a few times just to see if anything would pop off or if it can actually make boost. No boost leaks and stuff like that. So I really like the way it looks. I think it is gonna be really great. Summertime's coming up, and you know the temperatures are gonna be going higher, so it's gonna be nice having this intercooler to eliminate heat soak. And it will allow us to get more power, so I'm super excited about that. If you guys have any questions, leave them down below, drop a like, and subscribe. Thanks, guys.